TJ?
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
TJ.
pleasure to meet you, TJ. Thank you so much.
Oh, my pleasure. And this is Yogi.
Hey, Yogi. Yogi?
Yogi.
Oh, hey, Yogi.
He's shy.
Sorry.
This will be his boarding mate here. Or
Oh,
her.
nice.
And who do we have here?
So this is River.
Hi, River.
This is Thayer. This is my husband, Rodney.
Hello, sir. How you doing? Cool.
So we're a little scattered mentally because we were rushing to get here, but
No
we
problem.
forgot her blanket, but we do have her food.
Okay. I
And,
can always get her an extra one too if I need it.
okay.
If she's more comfortable with one. Does she have any allergies?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay, okay. I just
I
have
don't know
some
if you
peanut
would-
butter treats.
Okay. Oh, she's had plenty of peanut butter.
Gotcha. She seems to like Yogi. That's good.
Yeah.
Hi, River.
She's
Oh,
timid
hello.
sometimes with dogs, like bigger dogs, when they have a lot of energy.
Okay.
But generally she's.
We got a good crowd back at home for that.
Yeah.
We've got
Oh,
a golden that loves puppies, so that'll be good for her to adjust to. And
Oh,
then
nice.
my Great Dane Mastiff mix is like an old mom at this
Oh,
point.
nice.
She's very used to pups coming in and out.
That's great. That's wonderful.
So we'll get her used to big pups in no time.
That's wonderful.
So, yeah, go
I
ahead.
was gonna ask, so as far as like, did you want to? Because I know my wife mentioned like that you wanted to see the other dog at some point, or how.
She has remember the older dog? She's got a pit bull at home, and so one time we talked about check-in. She's with you for 2 weeks, and so we talked about a check-in midweek, possibly on a weekend, and if we could bring in our older dog as well to see how they interact, or any tips or tricks that you have.
Yeah, it'll be
Because
good to see.
We do keep them separate. They don't do a lot of co-play or
Oh.
co.
We could see about working with that, just to see if it's on like River's side or if it's on your older pup side. Usually, it's going to be on the older dog side because they're kind of used to being like an only child, and or they don't like to match the energy of the other dog. So.
Well, I did notice. I walked both dogs at certain times,
Good
and
shot.
our other dog pulls, and she used to not do that. And then now when I walk her just by herself, she's starting to like pull.
Yeah, they'll always pick up on bad habits of their peers much faster than the good habits, unfortunately. So especially if you have one dog that pulls, I wouldn't walk another dog with it, because then they feel like it's permissible to do that, or it adds to their excitement to do it too. So what I would always do is kind of walk them separately until I can get the other one, to be calm and composed during the big fluffy.
Oh wow! Oh, my
So beautiful.
gosh.
You can say hi.
So pretty.
River.
What, a poodle? He's a golden doodle. A golden. Oh, nice. Wow. He just got hurt.
Yeah, it looks like
Does
it.
it always look like that?
It looks like a cloud.
Tight curls, actually.
Oh,
As soon as he gets wet, it's over.
But that way they don't pick up on the bad habits and go for it, and it can happen, inadvertently a lot of times too, just because they spend time around their peers. But especially with things like walking behaviors, especially since she's younger, it's good to walk her separately, even though it might take twice as long. It's better to kind of maintain good habits with the younger pups than because just like kids, they're much more impressionable when they're still younger. So that would just be something that we'd have to maybe work on her with too. And while we're working with her on her leash behaviors, and you see the videos, and you can try to practice and replicate those things back at home with your dog. Might be a little bit different, and because they're also older too, and they might have more of those habits kind of ingrained in, it might take more reconditioning than actually training. With River, I think she's still young enough that it's actually like teaching her what to do, whereas a lot of times when I'm working with rescues or older pups, it's more like reconditioning and deprogramming a bad behavior, replacing it with a good one, and that can take a lot more effort.
You amaze me. The psychology behind it.
So what we'll usually do for this kind of drop off and evaluation is just kind of get an idea of the behavior problems that you have in working with. I know sometimes it's easier to showcase them all at once. Sometimes it's not. But
Do we do it here?
yeah, what we could do is, especially if she's been in the car ride for a while, same with him, we can take them over to the grass to see if they need to relieve themselves.
Okay.
And then I usually set up a little bit of a course right behind here. You'll see there's
Okay,
going to be it's like an abandoned.
Can we get it there or you got it?
I think it was like a sports shop or something like
Yeah,
that.
I
or
know
an
what building
outdoor
you're
shop.
talking about, yeah.
And so it's very quiet and open over there, unless of course we need to see like inappropriate social behaviors, and then we can always swing by here too, like if they're pulling towards other dogs or people or things like that.
Yeah, I think one of the
Boy.
behaviors that I think my wife mentioned is like she's always like biting, and I understand she's a puppy too.
Yeah.
But she's just like even when you just at first she just starts.
Yeah, there's a difference between like her nipping and then like what she's learned. What she's learned is the way to play is to chase and bite. So
we just have to teach her that if she wants to play or engage with us, then she has to do something else, right? And that's difficult because she's already gotten attention from biting, even though it's sometimes, even if it's negative attention, it's still attention, right? And so luckily, you'll get her to just hang out with me for a bit, and I'll have to kind of work through it. Hi. Because we'll probably, hopefully not, but you might run into what's known as like an extinction burst. And that's where like barking, for example, if a dog is barking at you to get attention and they're used to it, even though it's, you try to tell them to stop or no, you're still giving them attention.
Right.
What ends up happening, good girl, good potty. What ends up happening is when you start to ignore them, because what they were doing before barking got their attention, they figure, okay, well, I just have to keep going or I have to try louder.
Okay.
And that's why they call it an extinction burst, because before the behavior subsides, because they have to eventually give up because they're not going to get your attention that way, right? You have to kind of endure, right, and not give in until she does. Because if you give up before they do, then that reinforces again the bad behavior. It's like, oh well, if I just keep barking now, she's gonna eventually give up and play. Same with the biting, unfortunately. So it's gonna be a combination of giving her, teaching her something else to do to get attention, and then also just the usual puppy no biting kind of training. And that's just interrupting the play and making it so she understands that as soon as she starts, using her mouth on us or biting down, that the play stops, right? And to get it to start again, she has to play gentle or licks or something like that. And that's just very like on and off, back and forth, a lot of close, tight repetition, right? To give her an opportunity to know that it was wrong and it was right. And like I say, it can be pretty painful. I got gloves and stuff that I can use sometimes. Usually I just use toys, right? But yeah, it can definitely be a tough one. But it's an important lesson to learn because sometimes people go too far to the extreme, and they don't let their dog bite at all, which is understandable. But what ends up happening is they never learn bite inhibition or their own bite force. Because usually when they're growing up, they're going to be around their peers, and they play fight. They bite each other, and the reason why the teeth are so sharp is to make it more sensitive for the other pups when they play. That if they get too hard, then they yelp, and it should let their partner know or their playmate know that, oh, that was too much, and I have to back off of it, right? So if they don't ever get that lesson, then they don't know that biting down is A, not good, and then B, to control that bite force. And like I said, because they don't, not around their peers all the time, we have to kind of substitute in for that role. Most people don't enjoy that part of the job so much, right? But it's necessary, because if she doesn't learn, then
River.
good job. I got sidetracked because I was talking. I meant to actually bring the cars over here so we can kind of go through things. But is there anything outside of the oh, if you want to showcase the biting, here we go. And see how bad it is. Okay, and what do you guys usually do?
Okay. So normally what happened? Well, before I think it was just her. She's starting to be softer at it, so naturally it's moving. But so when the kids, it's okay if I let her off.
Aw,
Okay.
I wouldn't just because there's too much traffic that way.
Okay, Thayer, run down, run. Hey, River. Run, Thayer. Hey.
Oh, she's got
Oh, he's got a treat.
I don't have any.
So what it is like, so the way that they started playing was he was running.
Uh-huh.
And so then when he's running and or any of his friends run,
Right.
she then starts, it's not just the nipping, she's like, I'm trying to play with you.
Right.
And then she's starting to bite the butts and the hands and the legs.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know
It's
if
a pretty
we need to show it. Yeah.
It's a pretty natural reaction. If you can show it, I'll be able to kind of show you how we can stop it.
Okay.
Or we can start working on it.
Okay. You might have a treat in your hand. Do you have a, or in your?
In my
There, sir. Just
chewing on a rock. There you go. All right.
I can't keep up.
Right.
He can't keep up with him.
Okay. So the main thing
But when
is.
she's off the leash, then she has pace. She has speed to be able to catch him.
And so part of it is going to be on the children to learn and practice with too, and that's going to be difficult. And another reason why you'll want to either bring him and a couple of his friends or something along. I can practice with her too, but it'll be good for the kids to know how to react and how to work on those things. Usually, if it's chasing and biting, I'll have just like a long toy for the children, so that way she has something that she can get to before getting to them to use her mouth with. Right?
What long toy? Like what type of
Just
long?
like a rope or like a rope toy, or just I'll show you a couple of different longer toys if you need. But so things like that too. Like as soon as she starts biting, we always tend naturally to move away.
Yeah.
Right, and disengage. Whereas we need her to actually control herself and back off.
Okay.
And it's gonna be. It's like I said, it's gonna be really, really hard for most people to do that.
yeah, because that's all instinct. Like, you know,
it's self-preservation, right? But let's see here. Trying to get her excited. Yeah. Good girl. Right? So almost like offering myself for her to bite, and then as soon as she does, giving her like that correction, that negative sound, just making some sort of impact at the moment of inappropriateness to help kind of break her out of that. And it's easier to do the earlier that you do it, so you have to be very preemptive, right? So if he's running with his friends and she starts chasing, he doesn't have a toy or anything for her mouth to engage with, then he has to stop and disengage with her, right? He has to calm her down.
How does he disengage?
Let's see. So, let's see here. I'll trade you pups first. Let's see if we can get her to bite me here. So, yep, there you go. And then as soon as she stops, make sure that you acknowledge that. Because a lot of times we're really, really good at telling a dog no, whereas we actually have to get better at telling the dog yes, too, right? So right now, when she's jumping up, it's good girl. Yes. Come on. Wait. Good. She's got to be with him. She's probably unsure of me. Yeah. So try to go ahead and run around, and as soon as she gets close to you, stop and tell her to stop. Okay. And you don't go far, don't go fast. Just go around here.
Okay. Oh, should he hold the leash?
I got it.
River. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. There you go. So you can see, like, she's already focused and already has closed the gap, and he hasn't done anything, right? We have to interrupt before she starts to engage. So as soon as I tell you to stop, then go ahead and stop and try to tell her to stop, okay? Stop. She got distracted again. All right, go ahead again. Stop.
Stop.
Good, there you go. Right, and you can see right away, even though we didn't have a toy, she took something else that was closer to her face into her mouth. So it's the combination of those two things, making sure that she knows our personal space and boundary, and giving her something else positive to do too. A lot of times if we just tell them what not to do, you're gonna get stuck doing that over and over again. It's like, no, stop, no, 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 no. But if we tell them no, do this instead, it then gives them something to occupy themselves with.
Okay, so we should just have more ropes around so that like he can easily like pick them up and be like, here's an alternative. And we have tons of play toys, but I'm not sure they're accessible in the right place at the right time.
Right, and that's the thing too. Like if he just wants to hang out and play with his friends, let him do that. But if you want to actually practice it, then actually practice it. It's just like with everything else with children. You know, you don't have to use every opportunity for training, even though you can. There's going to be some times when if you're not prepared, right? If you don't have treats, if you don't have toys, if you're not mentally ready to engage in those in teaching your dog, then the best course of action, so that way they don't develop bad behaviors, is to separate them. So that way she's not running around after all the kids because they just want to focus on the game or something like that. But you can also make it a fun game and give them the tools that they need and the training to actually work with her.
Okay.
So it goes from like this erratic kind of scary behavior to actually like a structured exercise.
Okay. I like that a lot.
She just wants to bite everything. What do you think, bud? And this is where like being around peers is good, because when puppies annoy other dogs, the other dogs correct them. They'll snap at them, they'll bark, they'll let them know. And that's part of growing up, is setting up those boundaries and those limits, when to play, when to stop playing, how hard to play, all those things. She has to learn them somehow, right?
Yeah.
If she doesn't learn them through her peers, like I said, she's gonna have to learn them through us, whether we like it or not.
No, that all makes sense. I understand it.
So let's have him practice one more time while we're here together, and go ahead and start running. And as soon as she stop. Good, there you go. Let me give you a treat this time too. All right, so after you tell her to stop, try to get her to sit, okay? All right, so go ahead and run around. Stop.
Stop. Sit.
There you go, good. Right, so it's really like soon, right? It's hard because we're on a leash and we're in close quarters. But if he had more running space to start, and then as soon as she starts to kind of even go towards him, it's always easier and safer, right, if we get them to disengage what they're doing and kind of interrupt that train of thought that they currently have to like go and play and bite. If we suddenly interrupt that before they get to us, it's a lot easier. But once they get to us and they're already biting and playing, right, they're focused on that now, and so it's easier for them to tunnel vision on it, and it's harder to get the training in, or the input, right? The signal, I guess.
Well, you're saying so assuming if we weren't in this environment, there's a little bit more space, so that then he or I would read that she's getting closer in our personal space. So we want to say stop and sit.
Yeah,
and reward.
Yeah, just reward
before she's biting him.
Yeah,
okay.
Preferably before he's biting him. Because we want her to know, and then as soon as she's playing and she's running around with him but not biting him, then continue the play. But then as soon as she starts biting him later on, then we can fully disengage again. But at first, it'll be good practice to just get her to not approach in that mindset, right? And that's just going to take some practice and conditioning. You have to do it often enough that she knows that almost like she's going to feel like she's going to get interrupted as she gets closer, right?
Do you understand that? There, that like you have to tell her so many times that she knows then as she gets too close.
Good girl.
That she knows that you're going to interrupt.
Wait.
You're going to say no.
Yes.
And
Good
if
girl.
You tell her no so many times that she knows you're going to say no.
So here,
She gets too.
the jumping
Or she
behavior is another good way that you can practice it too, because I know as soon as she gets close to me, she's gonna probably want to jump on me. So just the same idea, but you know, she's running towards me and I'm not running away. Well, I am a little bit. Wait.
But why is she jumping on us? Like, what is it that she wants?
Just excitement. She just wants to play. We're up high. If we're down low, like with him, she doesn't jump on him because she's already at that level, right? She wants to engage with us, and the only way that she can do that is if she engages up with us, right? So we have to teach her, like, if she wants that engagement, come. It's down low.
You get down low.
And that's not always, good girl. It's not always easy because, you know, either back or and over and stuff. It's hard for us. Yes. Yes, good girl. Right, so no as soon as she starts biting, yes as soon as she stops. Do it over and over again until she understands. Good girl.
Do we, like, should we just all have a, like, treat pouch on us during this time?
Especially in the early stages, it's better to be prepared than caught off guard. But you can always at least give her like that praise and stuff while you're practicing, and then go and get treats and turn it into like a formal training session. It's just always easier at least to have a toy. A really small, compact toy that you can always keep in your pocket or have right by the door as soon as you come in or something like that. So that way, if she starts wanting to play and engage, you already have something more appropriate for her to play and engage with you with, right? So playing tug or something like that, she still gets to engage with you, but her mouth is engaged in something else.
Okay.
Because that's all she wants. She just wants to play.
Okay, so we have these, like, big toys everywhere.
Yeah, that'd
so,
be
like,
good, too.
I don't know, maybe you could, like, just send us a link or point them out
Yeah,
in
I'll
the
show you.
store. Okay, that's perfect. Because I don't think we have them, I don't know. I don't know how to say it.
Yes, good girl. Sit. Sit. Good girl. Wait. Yes, good girl. So we're just practicing her getting excited and still being able to listen and calm down. Getting excited, listen, calm down. It's a very hard thing for anybody young or puppies, right? Ouch. Yes. Good. Yes. Good girl. Yeah, she's getting it. So it might just, like you said, it's going to be half practice on this end and half practice on the other end. Hopefully by the end of the 2 weeks, she'll be pretty far along. We usually get a lot of puppy biting practice and stuff. But it'll be important, especially when his friends are over and stuff like that, that you go over it with them and how to behave and everything.
That's great to know.
Oh, good boy. He's tired. He's had a long day.
How old is that dog?
Almost a year.
Yeah.
Oh.
What's he saying?
He's like, I'm ready for nap time. Was there anything else that you can think of right now? No.
I mean, like, generally the,
Yes.
the things were
Yes.
leash walking. She started to, leash walking because we've never trained our older dog how to leash walk. And then you said like counter surfing. That's something that's really big now.
So there, right? If he's if he's getting bit, he moves away instead of telling her to stop and having her disengage with him. Like,
Did you hear that?
really have to hold your ground, right? And you have to make her stop as opposed to moving away, so she has to stop, right? We want her to control herself as opposed to us having to get out of that space.
Okay, try that.
It's hard though.
Can you try one more time? Get down there and then see what you would do differently this time. There.
Stop. Stop. Stop.
There you go.
And then
Good.
yes, yes, yes. Oh,
Yes.
He's giving you a.
No.
There you go. And that can give her a reward when she does stop and listen. No, okay.
Okay, let's try one more time, okay? Let's try one more time. Now hold on to it.
So if she starts biting you, you tell her no, and then as soon as she does that, then tell her good job.
Stop.
Well,
No.
she's biting
No.
towards the treat though.
Yeah.
it'll take a little bit of
Yeah,
practice. It's gonna seem, and that's why
No.
it's good to work together, because it's gonna naturally seem easier for me
No.
to do all these things
No.
because
Yeah.
I do them all
You have
day,
the
every day for
No.
years. Yeah.
Yes.
There-
No. No.
Good. There you go.
Yes.
There you go. Perfect. so
When we meet in the, because he'll meet midweek or mid-session, you know, after week 1, and then we'll be there after the second week, being able to train us on how to be more structured in the yes, no, or no, yes, will probably then enable us to then mirror, extend it more at home.
Yeah.
But I think as you're just recognizing, like, we don't know how to read the behavior to say no, when to say no, and then when to say yes.
you'll get a lot of good practice in, and like I said, she should hopefully be a lot easier to work
Yeah,
with. Good down. Just from practicing with me, you
Yeah.
know. It's hard because a lot of times you have to be really precise with the timing,
Yeah.
so that way she understands what's going on.
Yeah.
Right. A good example of that is like if she's running around and then she starts biting and we tell her no, stop, and then we go and have her follow us to the kitchen or something to get a treat, and then we have her sit and give her a treat.
Yeah.
Everything's so disconnected that she's probably more so associating getting the treat with sitting,
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
as opposed to getting the treat for not biting us.
You listen to this one.
So that's why it's good to give them that kind of sit or stop and sit, right? But if you want her to feel rewarded for stopping, you have to reward her for stopping,
Okay,
right?
okay.
You don't want
Do
to
you hear
reward
that,
her for
honey
sitting
bun?
too.
Like, the timing is really important. The timing. As soon as she's
Good
in
girl.
your face, you have to say no, and as soon as she
Uh-huh.
corrects, you have to say yes.
Yes, good girl.
Okay, but
Uh-huh.
it's important of the moment
Yes.
it happens.
And you can
When
see
it's
here,
about to happen and when it happens.
you'll be able to see there in the video too, when like she's approaching, she naturally wants to jump, and when I disrupt her, you can kind of see part of her settling in, right? Good girl. Come. Wait. Yes. Good girl. Make it look easy, so it's gonna be just a lot of practice, but she can do it. You see, because I'm purposefully trying to get her hyped up and excited to either come at me or jump or something, and then disrupting it. You'll know when you do it right when you're not even sure if she was going to jump at all, right? It's better to be way early than way late.
Yeah.
Okay.
Most of the time
Oh, did you
we're
hear
stressing
that?
about her jumping when she's already up.
Yeah, it's better to be way early than way late. So meaning, like, if you think she's gonna do it, correct
Yes, good girl.
her. Okay? Because if she's already biting you or jumping on you, then yeah.
Yeah. Because we don't want her to jump in the first place, so we have to actually like put all of our effort into before she jumps, as opposed to a lot of times people put most of their efforts in after they jump.
Yeah. Oh, another one is so the other one is like when we feed her, it's like chaos when we're trying to get the food out. So like if there was a way to get her,
Because she's excited for
yeah.
it.
Like if we were able to get her to wait so that here, stop that.
Yeah, we could practice that for you,
Okay.
especially for any like feeding times. It's a good habit, and you'll be amazed at how much like that patience and then a reward for like releasing her to eat comes into play with like a lot of things for puppies, right? They just really need to build their patience and self-control most of the time when they're really excited, like dinner time, right? They're super excited to eat and stuff.
Totally. Aren't we all? Well, he was saying, and I don't know how to like gauge this or not, but like potty training. So, I mean, if we have the right structure, she's no longer going to the bathroom in the house. There was one day where we just couldn't get enough time, and that's just our fault.
Accidents are gonna happen with puppies.
Totally. So I don't even know what to ask about potty training other than like, if she has free roam in the house, she has a favorite spot and she's gonna go pee there.
Perfect.
Or pee and poo there.
That's
But
good.
if we have structure, then we know that doesn't happen.
But what I would use is that knowledge of her favorite spot to my advantage. So once I recognize that, like at our place, for example, and she starts what I call drifting that way, that's when I start the potty routine. Like, no, River, let's go potty this way. Come, touch, I'll ring the bell or whatever. All right, let's go outside and go pee. Right? So actually knowing where she usually goes is very helpful, because as soon as she starts going anywhere towards that direction, it's going to be a good time to redirect her. Once again, it's like one of those preemptive things. It's better to do it early than to catch it late. And it's why, giving a pup too much freedom too soon is really difficult, because if you're not within line of sight, you can't disrupt that train of thought, right? If she's in like a completely separate room or upstairs or something like that, you won't be able to have the opportunity for potty training. And most of it is going to be supervising and interrupting that moment to show them where they need to go.
At what age and like your advice early on, like probably saved our marriage, saved our household, but like when we got a little bit more structure with like a playpen, her outdoor space, her crate, so she's got multiple spaces now and we know when and how to use them.
Yes.
At what age would we assume that like she could have free range of the house? Or
I wouldn't set it as at an age. I would set it as, when do you guys have time to watch her? Like a good example is introducing her to one new room at a time or two rooms, and being able to watch her. So getting her out of the playpen and letting her explore the living room while you're there supervising. So that way when she's exploring and she starts to like munch on a pillow or a remote, you're there to tell her no, and then to redirect her to a toy. And then you let her roam again, and then if she settles down and doesn't get into anything, that's how you know that she's graduated. And then maybe we'll do like in that space. And then you do like the living room and the kitchen, right? Going back and forth between the two. And you just kind of add rooms as you go along. It's a good way to also, like, most people think they puppy proof or baby proof their place until they actually run through that kind of exercise.
Totally.
Right?
That's so helpful.
And then that'll actually show you, I didn't think about her getting into the cabinets in the kitchen, or things like that just come up that you learn just from, good girl, you learn just from like observing and being with her. So that's why I wouldn't put a date on it unless you wanted to, like for me, for example, because I only have 2 weeks, I have certain goals that I have to try to hit within each one. Most families, you don't have to have that structure, which is both good and bad, right? But if you did have that structure, sometimes it'll be a little bit more of an incentive, right? Be like, we didn't get her used to the other room in a week. Let's really try this week at least to get that out of the way, right? You kind of end up holding yourself accountable. You don't have to do it every day like I do, but it'd be good if you don't, do it, just drop it off of your priority list.
That's super helpful.
Yes. Good girl. Yeah, you just want to bite stuff. Right? She's just so used to just doing all of the usual puppy things. You want me to show you a couple toys we can get her for?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Guys
That'd be great.
inside?
Can we go see some toys? The ones that we can keep close by as an alternative to chewing on you or us or Caleb.
Here, I'll trade you so that way we can work on the leash behaviors too, or I can at least see them. Good boy. So most of the time when they pull, it's going to be because they're interested in something other than us. and the leash isn't long enough for them to get there, right? It's either going to be a person or another dog or a smell, or they're just excited to get, 5 feet more in front of you, right? And so the way that we like to try to work with especially puppies, is teaching them to recognize the leash pressure and refocus back onto us. So try to keep the leash nice and loose, and then as soon as it gets tight, go ahead and redirect her back to you for the treat. There you go. Good. Okay, now when she starts walking again, as soon as it gets tight, call her back to you. So now she's focused on you, right? And she's going to be closer to that heel. If you had your hand closer to where the heel would be, right? Perfect.
Does she have a cookie? Is that what?
She had. Then as soon as she recognized that he didn't, and she went forward, right? That leash pressure, it hits, and then she comes back. And it's just going to take some practice. So I'll do the first video with him today, and probably with her probably tomorrow. Get her settled in for this evening, because I know the traffic when we get home is going to take a while already, unfortunately.
Where do you live again?
Down in Stafford.
Stafford.
Yeah, 95 was jammed up going south too, so. Very good. There you go.
And what did you do, Rod?
So as soon as she pulls, I call her River.
And then she comes back to you. You say, good girl, and then you show her which way to go. There you go. Very good. And that's where having smaller amount of treats will help too, right? But, good girl. I don't have any, but it at least gives her that target to hit. And if that target is close to us every time, she'll get used to staying in that area, or at least coming back, right?
With your hand like this?
Yeah, like a heel area.
Sure.
As soon as she stop, call her to you.
And right there.
River.
Wait till she comes back.
River.
Right, and that's understandable because she's not able to listen, because now her nose has got her focused on something else.
Yeah.
Good girl, there you go. Here's another treat for you.
Hey, you want to give her a treat?
There you go. Yogi. Good boy. Here. Good. And you can see what I'm doing with Yogi is I'm holding it there, taking a few steps, making her kind of focus on us and follow, and then giving her the treat, right?
Okay.
So that way you're working on a good focus work, or maintaining focus. Good leash walking is going to be a combination of two things. It's going to be getting her attention back, and then holding on to her attention. Because if you don't work on the holding on part, you're going to be burning through treats really fast, just constantly ping-ponging her back and forth. It's good practice for things like recall, but if you want her to walk nicely, you want her to just get used to walking close to you and just feeling rewarded periodically. Yogi. Good boy. Yes, good boy. There you go. So the next time she comes back to him, if he still has the treat, go ahead and have him give it to her. And with most pups, you can see that her nose is what's getting her distracted, right? She finds something interesting to smell, and she just goes towards it. Hi, sir, after you. We'll teach her how to be gentle taking treats too. Alright, I'm gonna take off my shirt real quick, then we'll head in. If you don't mind holding him for a moment.
Why do you have to take your shirt off?
Some places are okay with other companies training inside, some aren't. I know in my area, Petmart knows me and they're perfectly fine with it.
Yeah.
Worked with their trainer before. So,
Yeah.
but Petco is no, get out.
Okay.
Yeah, so in order to kind of avoid any confrontation.
Yeah.
Especially with places that have their own like training
So they do?
programs and stuff.
Okay, I didn't know that they did or didn't.
Yeah, it's a good program. It's a very good basic program.
Yeah.
Lay.
Very good. Oh, she's doing good.
Oh, if you could give us tips on like how to be consistent in the like, what should our body language look like when we're talking about sit, lay, or paw?
That'll be something that we can, thank you, we can work on, because I'll get to see what she reacts well to,
Okay.
and then you'll kind of get to see what I'm doing, and then see if, you know, we have to get her used to what you do because it's more natural for you.
Yeah.
And how to reprogram that. And like I said, most things in a couple weeks you can easily kind of make adjustments to.
Okay.
Or we can do it a certain way for consistency's sake. But the main thing is that things aren't like drastically different between the family, right? So if, for example, a couple different ways that I've seen people teach sit. One is actually holding a fist up to the pup's face and asking them to sit and then moving it up. Another way is asking them to sit and pointing at the butt down. And another way is lifting a hand gesture up. They're all, you know, ways of teaching a dog sit, but because they're so drastically different, if she's consistently she's sitting for you but not for her, see if those two styles are like two separate, distant. And most of the time they're actually following our gestures than the word. The word actually comes usually way later because it takes them a while to build that sound association. And you'll notice.
Oh, I know
hi.
you heard that too, didn't you?
Hi. So I'll show you a couple little toys that I usually use with pups. I actually don't have one because I gave it to the last puppy I was working with. Good boy. Oh, what's that? Anything tiny like that?
Tiny? Okay, and we can keep that with us.
Oh, that's just an idea. And then
Sure.
this is another good one because it's thin and it's longer, which will
Okay.
be really good for when she's like running around and biting, right?
You can put this in your pocket.
Yeah, it's a really easy one to kind of fold up into a pocket. Yeah, that could be a good one for her. It's another good one because it crinkles and it has a squeaker. It's not as long. Oh, it's so cute. It's not as long as the other one, but it might be more pocketable, right? But that's generally what you're looking for. It's just something.
Pocketable is good.
Yeah.
What we need.
That's the main thing, at least for me. I used to have like a rope toy, but it was thinner, and I'd kind of wear it as a belt. You know, but I think that's too. Yeah, that's still a little too cumbersome for most people. Uh-oh.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay. Let's see anything else. Sometimes, and this is what I mean by like the rope toys.
Like those little ones? No way, like those little ones would be something we could just have in our hand?
Right. It's just something that is not your hand that she can play with. And you'll want to test it out. Like, you can hold off on buying anything, and I'll show you, you know, after I work with her.
Okay, which ones? Oh, okay, that's good to know. Okay, so I was ready. I'm ready. We're going to be prepared when she comes home.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe on like the final session or something like that.
Okay.
If she hasn't completely, hey, she could be a model. Yeah.
That's perfect.
Especially if she likes food.
Oh, she loves. She's very food driven.
The dog food commercials always love it when, you know, the dog is excited to eat. The main thing is like getting them to listen to, like, you know, sit, stay, and still be excited too. Let's see. I thought there was something else we were going to go over while we were in here, but I can't remember now. Oh, are there any favorite treats that she usually takes from you guys? Oh, look, another golden.
Anything. I mean, like we've kind of gone around like getting stuff on Amazon, getting stuff from here. We have like maybe but any of it she loves.
Okay.
And if I should get some more.
Oh no, just
okay.
I don't know. I still have some treats, but I just was wondering if she had a preference already.
Yeah.
Hi.
So the one like we've tried, we've probably had at least
Yeah, sure.
5 or 6 different times. 5 or 6 different times.
Your pup can say hi too if you want.
Hello, little one.
Look, it's you.
Really sweet. She's just excited.
Oh,
You're so sweet.
look, that's gonna be you. That's gonna be you.
4 months. She's her 4 months.
How old is this one?
She's almost 2.
How old's your dog? She's just. Oh, is that right?
She's so excited.
Yeah.
Good boy. I know, it's okay. He gets overwhelmed too. Right now, for him, his favorite are these Parabites. So that's what we have right now. Well, they don't actually have it here, but the salmon ones. And I can see if she likes them too, and then that way just get one kind, to use with both of them. Or if she likes beef or something, because I've had good luck with like the beef liver and freeze-dried chicken. Those things are really simple, so they usually digest well.
Okay.
And it's like real meat, so dogs usually like it.
That's great. Well, I mean, like we've had at least 6 brands and probably at least 6 flavors, and she's equally excited about all of them.
All right, that's good then. At least she's not picky.
Yeah. No, she's not. She's not.
Cool. And then, especially for puppies, I usually try to give like chews or treats when they have to be alone for a while. Whether it's to develop that patience on like an extended stay, or if they're going to be in their crate for a while, or alone. Do you guys usually have a preference on what you give her for those kind of chews?
We've gotten individual ones, so instead of buying the bags of those, we've just gotten them.
I know Purina usually does like the individual or 2 packs.
Okay.
Do you know around what kind they were?
They're the individual ones up front.
Okay.
And so we just grab a hand of those. I'm trying to think what else we give her. So basically, what we've been giving her when she's in our crate is the maze.
Okay, yeah,
the
that's a good one
maze,
too.
And then we have the toy where we have like 5 toys where you put the food on the inside and they have to like get it some way.
Those are good.
So instead of the chew toys,
I have one of those.
we've got some of them, but we have like 5 of these like maze toys.
Okay.
And that's what we give her to like, I guess, mental stimulation.
Okay. Give her something to do. The only reason I asked is so that way we don't like disrupt her digestive system. I've had good luck with everything except for the collagen chews.
Okay.
That just didn't settle well. It might have been with the couple pups that I had, but that's the only thing I've noticed.
Down, nope.
And then some parents are, of course, like the boarding pup that I had before, they had stomach sensitivity, so it had to be like vegetarian, so like the rawhide free chews.
Okay.
And some parents don't care, they like the bully sticks. So just seeing if she had any kind of preference.
No.
Okay.
All of the above. That's from us and from her.
These churros are popular too, and they're only $4.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I've never seen those before.
Yeah. It's a churro stick. It's much harder than an actual churro.
I bet. Sorry, our pit bull doesn't do too well with chews. My husband gave me and told me one time, oh wow, no.
Yeah, those are good for long-term chewing. That and like the deer antlers are really popular too.
No way.
They're very expensive, but they last a lot longer.
Is this real?
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
What do you think, Vince? I was just doing some counter surfing here, some shopping. All right. You guys have any questions or anything else before I call you? All right.